Welcome back, everyone, for some more Phoenix Wright and Justice for All. And we are going to be beginning day 1 of the trial here in the case against Maximilian Galactica, who is accused of murdering Berry Big Circus ringmaster Russell Berry. Now, this trial will last 2 episodes. Obviously this one, and then Tuesday's episode will be the second part of day 1 of the trial, but hope you guys are looking forward to it. By the way, hope you guys have an awesome weekend so far, but without further ado, let's go ahead and continue. And you probably do notice that I do have a second save spot, just in case I screw this up somehow, but yeah, there's a chance you may or may not be seeing this, but anyway, you can see Maximilian Galactica pretty much sweating right now since it's the day of the trial, but good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. It's a stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. December 29th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 2. And now the case of one... What? Your Honor, get on with it! Oh, sorry. I just realized the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So? Well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that's to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Eh? That spare channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count. Do you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in nature of Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being bored with the name Von Karma is a free pass to being arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? Hey there, evil Maria L. What are you talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it'll bring her dad back. There. Opening statement complete. Now let's hurry up and wrap up this waste of time. Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there. Now! Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your service, sir. Alright, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. Witness testimony, details of the events. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped the vertebrae in his neck. I see. He was beaten to death. Here's the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence. Should be accepts. Autopsy report adds in the court record. Time of death 10:15 p.m. Cause blunt force trauma to the back of the head. A blunt object. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. We're just gonna go ahead and save. I'm hoping nothing else goes wrong. That'd be pretty bad, but... Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Details of the events. The night of the crime, snow was falling to 9:04 p.m., making extremely cold out. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow. Let me see. There's gotta be more to this. Hey, what's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record. Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? All the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice the routines. When you say all the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger is there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you're welcome for our police report after these proceedings. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. After the practice was over, what did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regent, while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went up to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? Seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. Murder itself took place in a plaza in front of Logic House 10:15 p.m. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? The victim was found bent over a wooden box dead as a doornail. A wooden box? That's right. The victim must have been carrying a wooden box when he was killed. Carrying a box, huh? That's a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? Wooden box added to the court record. The victim was hunched over this 20-pound box that boasts a small but strong lock. This may be my only chance, I might as well ask him more questions. Okay. I want to know more about this wooden box. This wooden box, you figure it weighs about 20 pounds, right? Sounds about right. The whole thing is lined with iron. Iron plating. Why do you think it's lined with iron? I figure they just did it to make the box heavier. Ouch! I think we could all do without your guesses, Detective. Stick to what little you actually know. Sorry. Suffice it to say, the box is really heavy. Much better. You may continue on, Detective. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped the vertebrae in his neck. There wasn't much that we could go after Gumshoe at this time. He gave us the facts as he saw them, but there's gotta be more to this. I didn't see anything. Oh, wait, did I read that as Maya the whole time? I'm sorry. But that's why you're the lawyer and I'm the medium. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and save. Can I ask about what was in it? Do you mind telling us what was inside that box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox, so we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was a little bottle. Bottle? What is that, Detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There was one little bottle in that huge box? I do that some sort of special meaning. Small seasoning bottle added to the court record. Found inside the wooden box the victim was hunched over. It contains pepper. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that it's something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since he didn't find it on the scene. No, I bet he made it disappear with magic. Ho ho ho. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. Guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. Eh? I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously. But that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Montgomery, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. By the way, guys, I do apologize if I sound a little bit funny. I am a bit stuffed up at the moment. Don't worry, it's just allergies playing up, so if you hear me being a little bit more nasal than usual, please don't mind, but I'm trying my best. I wonder if Trillo will show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the record. My full name is Triloquist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me. The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. That rope must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence. Decided by a judge, dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? It had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Tetrillo, you know better than so to judge. Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. What's going on here? Order! I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about... Ouch! You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let's proceed. Witness testimony. What you witnessed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge and my clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max headed towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene? You sure of that? Without a doubt. He had on a silk hat, cloak, and a dumb white roses on his chest. How can you make someone with that crazy get up and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown. That's right, Just Boy. Well, since you weren't with him, could that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why is that? Here's absolute proof. Silk hat? This was found at the scene of the crime and belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was a murderer, then there would be no need for this hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done. Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Oh, okay. I guess she's the boss again today. Cross-examination, what you witnessed. Yeah, I need to save this. The clown, you're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise, his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to killing over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first-place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in a nice warm lodging house have been a better idea?
Objection!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. I'm a good thinker. At least my teachers always said I was. That's when I saw Max headed towards the scene of the crime. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears. Lawyers nowadays, you're like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup, geez, could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right, and that makes him the killer. There was only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to the story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss in this? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save here. That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't that seem like you should have seen someone else as well? Where are you going with this, Mr. Ray? Who else do you think this witness could have seen? That's the victim. That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Ah! Obviously the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. Is that according to the defendant? A likely story. If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he, just as witness stated, at the scene of the crime? Ah! I see. Seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with the testimony. Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of the bitter love triangle with Regina, which is probably why Max clanked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Okay, once practice was over, I'd let the 10th with the students okay, I'm not reading all of this. About what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose they would have been around, hey, what time was it? I think it was around, I'd say a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? What are you telling me anything extra? Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone?
Objection!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, we could all do without your offhanded theories.
Objection!
But, this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something. Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for in the cold that night? Well, Maya was just talking about this. Let's see what they have to say about this. Oops. I pushed the wrong button.
Take that!
Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer Regina. Wah! You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares what I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw, don't you forget it! Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Alright. There is obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Ah! That makes perfect sense. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max headed to the scene. Ow! There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal chamber. I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Pain. Don't volunteer things. Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Witness testimony about the proposal. Don't be so surprised I was gonna propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night as a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. You were gonna propose. You, a puppet. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Exactly. His honor is looking a little less honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination. Okay, let's go ahead and save. What was with that side here? Okay, let's see. So you were still thinking of trying to give it to the Regina? Of course I am! I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give up that easily. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in a circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? Thanks about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick! Give him heck! Judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe he should get out more. What was it exactly you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was gonna give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answer his question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Pain equals bad. Let's push on anyway. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human being. Ow! I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. Okay. I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina. An engagement ring? It's exactly diamond-shaped stone cut from glass, even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is gonna love it. It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's gotta be something I can catch him on. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm just sorry, really. You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing. Really? Okay, let's go ahead and save. Trillo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're gonna double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah! That's mine! Give it back! Thief! Thief! Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? Ah! What is going on here? That's... Ben, say something! Hey, don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room they put money, like a bank vault? Ha! That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slander and get us required to this my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word. Oh, I see. Well, then... Money likes to go after shiniest things he can get and find and gather them up. Shiny things? Trillo, what was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was. That time, you know. That night, the night of the crime. What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, or it could have been, taken around that time. Ah! Yo! Oh! Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing, not I, Mr. Trilloquist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey, Money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all that slow-loafing fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, This does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point. What point could that possibly be? Well, Ben's testimony has a flaw. There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this ventriloquist?
Objection!
Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defendant's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha! I told you so many times you think you know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, Stick Boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. Where's one lie? There are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah! Witness testimony. Witnessing Max. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Max Maria Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone who wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max? That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about... I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived at the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Let's go ahead and save. Cross-examination. Witnessing Max. Okay, he was waiting. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know, 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous to a case in Trillo. But that doesn't change the fact that he saw Max. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night? Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance of the tent the entire time. Guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. Showed up after he'd been waiting for about 5 minutes. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, I'm not good at math. It was 10 p.m. Oh, yes, that sounds about right. Sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene. Said good evening. So you testified you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking clearly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trullo. You said good evening at night. Oh, I'm sorry, Trullo. Mr. Quiz, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible. Performer leaves and bleeds his performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Yeah, I'm kinda curious about that evening greeting. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly, how is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just be cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Oh, that hurt! Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trullo would ever say something nice to Max. But how would I go about proving that with the evidence? Nothing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I could give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I would swear the three ridiculous symbols. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree, but do we have the proof to make something stick? All we have to do is try, right, Nick? We gotta have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza. Okay. Go ahead and save. Okay, let's see what he says about this. Trullo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clunked over the head. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch. Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There was absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of witness on stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just get up and say good evening to his rival. Wah!
Objection!
Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at that crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? Okay, he didn't see you, he saw... I'm gonna say he saw a different person. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. But what? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there was only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trullo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What the world, you... Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trullo saw that evening in? I believe he saw this person. Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet. Must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor. It is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trullo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you got a point there. There's Russell Berry. The victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Churlo. Is that correct? Go. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Wah! Ah! Order! How do you respond to this? Well, wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a good look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the event of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica, or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that witness saw that night. The witnesses clearly say that they saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone. All together now. Ow! Yes, we know. Silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone can wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witnesses evidently repeatedly saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how did we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? Could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What? Miss Von Karma. Do you have any clear evidence that the person this witness saw was the defendant? Well, if that's the case, then it's impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point in this one. That is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that day. I applaud you on your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing, that there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Okay. And that is where we're going to end things off here. Next time we'll see this. I'm sure you guys will probably know who the next witness is, but we will continue on there in the next episode, which will be on Tuesday. Tuesday will also be the day that we'll finish day 1 of the trial, so hope you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series so far, and I'll be seeing you guys again next time.